Family and friends and people that you know in your hometown, they don't always support your higher self. What that even means to you, your higher self, your calling, your purpose, your forward trajectory, your improvement, your evolution, your growth. They don't support it because they don't understand it. They see it in a certain light, and they don't get what you're trying to do or grow into. So if you have an idea or of something you want to do, something you want to try, or just like a change of mind, just like a different philosophy, a different way of thinking of the world, they're just going to look at someone who's like 5 years older than you, who's already doing that or has that or speaks like that or whatever, and they just think like, oh, well, that person's that, and they don't think that they could have been your age at one point thinking about it or talking about it, because they only see things in the light that they see things. They've already determined what they've determined. Like they see a guy walking down the street, he's 60 years old, they're just like, oh, a 60-year-old guy, old guy. Like they don't understand the progression of time. If I go out into the street, I could tell someone my name is Jeff, and they're gonna believe it. Because why wouldn't I be Jeff if I'm meeting you for the first time? I could be Jeff. I could be Brian. I could be like anybody. It doesn't matter. A name is just it, it's just a concept. So when people know you, they're just like, oh, they've attached that label to you. So it's not about like you're not gonna go and just like use a fake name. But the point is, it's like if I have like a business idea or something I want to do, you don't know that it's not a good idea just because you're family or friends. You don't know that it's not going to go anywhere. You don't know that it doesn't have potential. How do you know that I can't do something? How do you know that I can't do that? How do you know I'm not talented at that? How do you know I can't manifest that with my future? People are always keep you in that box because they don't understand your higher self. They look at themselves in relation to it based on past experience, and they don't understand what you're talking about. Like even just you being a motivated person talking about self-improvement and taking your life somewhere and wanting to go get things done and just being positive and energetic, it like highlights to the other person how come they're not energetic, how come they're not motivated to go do things, why are they looking at life the way they're looking at it, and why are you looking at it the way you're looking at it. So it conflicts with their idea of you, their idea of them, their idea of themselves relative to you. So there's all of that. So people are not going to understand your higher self. They're not going to understand what you're trying to evolve into, what you're trying to leave behind, what you're trying to grow past, because they might be wanting to do it themselves, or they don't know how to do it, or they don't know how you're able to do it. They don't know what you know. They don't get the source of you. They don't get where you're getting certain insights or knowledge or information, or they don't get the aura about you, which tends to give you different results than them, and they don't know how to piece it together because they have that label of, oh, this is my family member, this is my friend, this is my neighbor, oh, that's just the crazy homeless guy, and I just view him as homeless, so if he's like rich one day, I'm gonna go whoa and be like surprised by it, but then I'm gonna turn on TV and just look at someone who's rich and not think about it. This is just what people do. Even like something like this, selling tie-dye at a nonprofit in San Diego, just out at the beach, trying to explain this to people before I did it. It's like that's not a real job. Like, how are you going to sell shirts? But it's just like you look at the person. It's like, well, what are you wearing? You're wearing a shirt. Where'd you get it? Oh, Walmart, Nike, right? You just like bought it from someone else. That's just like so. Like someone on vacation to San Diego, maybe they like the shirt and they buy a shirt. It's just a job, but people just like, why would you be at the beach? Or like, why would you do that? How's it going, man? But yeah, it's just like, why would you have that position, right? Because they just see you getting the benefit, or like you getting the money, or like you getting the result. But they don't ask that about like the Nike owner making billions. They don't ask that about like the Walmart owner making billions. But like you barely make enough to afford your rent, and all of a sudden they don't get it. But they're wearing clothing, right? It's because it's you. It's because it's you that's doing it. They don't understand it on a spiritual level, what's going on. Something that's such an obvious concept when you really think about it, and they can't wrap their mind around it. Like, say they went to college for 4 years, got their degree, and say I know them like through high school and through college, whatever. Me and them are in a time together at one point in time where maybe a teacher's like, oh, this is just what you guys should be doing. You guys should get your degree, and that's just what you should do to live life. So this person thinks that I'm like on their track or something. And so then they go to college, they get their degree, they believe that they're this smart person who's informed, they know what's going on. And then to see you just sell a shirt, it's just like such an obvious concept. Hey, what's going on? Um, but it's just like it's an obvious transaction. It's like, dude, you're wearing a shirt. Someone paid for a shirt. It's just like it's very simple. But the person might be a doctor or a lawyer, or they went to school for all these years, and they believe that they're smart. They believe that they're informed. They believe they're intelligent. So, but when they're putting in all this work to get that degree, and they're at an office somewhere filing all this paperwork, in their mind they have it like they're going to be like the most successful or whatever that even means. Sometimes they have a hard time understanding like you're just selling a shirt. Like you didn't even go the whole college route. Like what they look at it and they go, what the hell? Like they just don't get it. But like you're trying to explain to them, like, look, for someone who thinks that they're so bright, it's like you're wearing a shirt. You just bought it from someone. Someone paid me for a shirt. It's just like, see, they don't get it. That's the thing. They don't get the higher self. They don't get, you know, out here in the elements, at the beach, in the air, doing something social, being able to talk to people from all over the world that are white and black, men and women, young and old, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, atheist. I don't care. I get along with everybody because nobody's trying to come here to San Diego and be around some like jealous energy or like I'm in my hometown working, selling these shirts. Someone doesn't need me to be like, oh, how come I'm not on vacation? Well, like, why are they on vacation? They'd rather be around like, hey, like, have a nice vacation, right? It's an energy thing, and there's just a way of dealing with people and understanding these concepts that school just isn't going to teach you. These tracks that people are on, so like, they don't understand your higher self, these people around you, because they already have their track of what they think things are. So like they grew up in America, so they just think that college is the thing to go do. They just think that that's like the thing to be. Whatever their family taught them is likely what they believe to the current day, because it's just what they know. It's just their track. They come from a conservative family, they likely grow up conservative. They come from a liberal family, they likely grow up liberal. And yeah, they can change their mind, or maybe it has the opposite psychological effect of, oh, I'm just gonna rebel against my parents. So you have the kid that goes the opposite direction. But I'm just saying, in general, there's certain patterns that people kind of get stuck to. They get stuck to a way of viewing things, like oh, like me and my friend have like a disagreement on something petty when we were 10, so I can't understand why he would be 30 one day trying to do something that I don't do myself. A lot of people get into that just weird stuff. Like for me, I'm in a place in my life, I enjoy work and I enjoy positive results. And so like I value being able to sell tie-dye for a living. I take this seriously. I take this seriously to come out here and be part of the community out here, whether it's selling a shirt or just maybe it's just a good energy for someone that day. But I take it seriously because I don't want to go back to a job that's not enjoyable. So I'd rather do this and work it and then go home, eat some healthy food, and sleep and get my rest. I'm not at a place at 26 years old where I don't want to hang out with friends all the time. I don't want to hang out with my family. I don't want to just like hang out with coworkers after work. I don't want to just like hang out with someone because I went to high school with them or college with them. It's just like life isn't a hangout. All right, like this is survival. There's stuff going on out here. There's spiritual elements out here. There's physical elements of like paying rent and food and shelter and understanding your senses, understanding yourself in like a spiritual context, in a physical context, mentally, understanding your upbringing and how that's affecting you now, understanding your sexuality and like your relationships with women and understanding how that plays out, seeing the course of your life down the road. Like there's just a lot going on, and people just have that like, oh, I went to high school with that guy, went to college with that guy, oh, that's my family member, that's my friend, that's I worked with them before. Like they just have their weird way of just like, it's just like their label on it. So like you're trying to do something, you try to start that business, they just see the other guy already with a business, so like you don't have it yet to them, right? Or like if you were any good, if what you were saying was true, you would have a bunch of followers as proof, or you'd have money. Like, where's your paycheck, bro? Like, do you make money at that? It's just like it's just such like a cut you down comment or a cut you down question. It's like maybe the money will come from this business when I start the business, but like I can't right now because I don't currently have it. It takes time to manifest. Like I'm not gonna be 26 forever. I'm gonna be 40 at one point. In 14 more years, I'll be 40. So if I'm just gonna like be around people with no goals, no intelligence, no motivation, I'm just gonna be that way at 40. You're gonna be like the people that you surround yourself with. So like, a lot of people too, they think that they're just gonna live forever and they have all this time in the world. Life is short. You don't have the time that you think you have. So like, I want to make moves. I want to get out here and get results. And if I were to have some huge result at something financially, like I could give a family member like money if they needed it, or like they need an operation and they don't have the best insurance, I could help pay. But like people don't look at it like that. They just like, why are you trying to do the individual thing, or you don't want to hang out anymore, you're just trying to do your own thing. It's like, yeah, like these people, family members, friends, people you go to school with, people you work with, sorry to say, but these people are some of the most likely people to hold back your potential, because they don't get why you would be someone different in the world, right? It's just like they don't get that you're like something different to someone else. Like, yeah, you can have a kid, but it's not just your kid. The kid can grow up and have their own boyfriend, girlfriend, and have their own kids. Like they're a sexual person to someone else. It's not like your kid. Same thing with your parents. It's like people that are old and they grow up and they're adults and they're still just like, oh, that's weird to imagine my parents having sex. It's like, dude, like that's how you're here. So it's like there's a certain age that you just grow up and you just see it. Like your parents are not your parents, not your mom, your dad. They're their own person spiritually. They're their own person sexually. They have their own stuff going on outside of you. I mean, there's stuff going on outside of like the label you're gonna put on things. But that's what people are like that though. It's hard for them to use their mind that way. They have their boxed way of seeing things, and they're not going to understand your higher self. They're always going to understand, just like the billionaire who comes into our city, places a business there where everyone's like, oh, creates jobs. It's like, okay, well, like a couple minimum wage jobs at this big chain, and then like one guy at the top's making a bunch of money, and all of us in the city are going to go and pay for this product or shop at this store. But anyone in our own city who's trying to elevate or trying to like come up in their own way, we're just going to cut it down, crabs in the bucket, because why would my own neighbor do better than me? Like that's just how it is. It's just like real life truth. So the best thing you can do is to just understand it. People are not going to see your higher self. Like they look at you, they're like, you're crazy. What do you mean you're going to sell shirts? That's what you're going to do for money? Like people look at you like you're just like you're taking the easy way out. You're just a bum at the beach. Like you have no intelligence because you dropped out of college. Like you're just trying to like float by and not do anything. Like they don't get the impact you could be making. Maybe I like helped someone's day. Maybe they helped my day. Or even to try to explain a YouTube channel. Just like, oh, you're just talking to yourself. Like people look at you like you're a weirdo. You're just talking to a random camera. But it's just like I could put content out. Someone could like the content. Someone can get something from the content. But then if the content goes somewhere, and like say you're doing YouTube as a career one day, like I said, the family and the friends and these people, they're just like, well, how come you didn't tell me that? It's just like, it's like, please, let's stop right there. One, I don't need a stupid conversation on what's my follower count and where's my paycheck, because it doesn't matter. If I was poor and on the street, I could do this video. If I had $1 million in the bank, I could do this video. It's the content. It's the point, it's the energy, it's the mission, it's the path of that person. Like people are not like your family member, people are not your friend, people are not your classmate, people are not your coworker. That guy isn't just random person on the street. Like that's not just a baby, that's not just an old guy. The baby will grow up, the old guy grew up, right? There's there's a way to see things, not just from your perspective. There's a way to take a look outside of yourself. Like take a moment to step outside of yourself and look at things from a third person view, be a little bit more objective, and you're gonna come to brighter truths way sooner. Because people have that mentality, they have like blinders on and they see like their lane, and this is my focus, this is my city, my religion, my hometown, my family, my ideology. So it's like they're living off their two eyes, because that's how you're only ever experiencing the world, from your two eyes. So it's like everyone is always communicating from their own perspective, and that's why these people around you are not going to understand your higher self, because they just see their perspective, they see their box, they've already labeled it,